Next question is from Swastik Patel. Hello Mr. Loy, hope you're doing well. First of all, thank you for this amazing YouTube channel. You are after my heart, my dear friend. He admires me way too much. Too much. Okay. The question I wanted to ask you is, I noticed that 2 to 3 years ago, you didn't put numbers on your YouTube video, but now you do. Each and every video has a number. Would like to know the reason behind it. Okay. See, the thing about putting numbers was, I think actually came from this guy who's part of my WhatsApp community. This guy has worked with the international advertising brands. The last one that he worked for, he was a director at Ogilvy and Mather. You can just Google search. It's one of the top advertising brands in the world. Okay, so he worked there as a director, and he admires my work, he admires my content. And one day he just told me, Loy, can I suggest an idea? I said, yeah, go ahead. He said, see, each one of your videos, you put a lot of content, but it's very hard to know which video have you put or what. If I have to refer a video, I do not know which one to go back to. But if you give your videos a number, it becomes very easy to say, you know, in video number so and so. And then he shared with me an Arab guy's channel. This guy is also, he speaks about UAE, mostly he's anti-UAE, but he gives great content. So every video of his has a hashtag with a number. And he showed me his video. All his videos are numbered. I'll see if I can remember his YouTube channel. If you check his thumbnails, all are numbered. Okay. So he told me, like, this guy, why don't you put a number? And I thought about it and realized what he said made sense, you know. So then I started to put a hashtag number that would number every video. And from then on, all my videos had a number. Eventually I removed the hashtag because hashtag and number, it's, you know, only if you search. It didn't make any sense to have a hashtag with a number. So now I just put video number so and so, you know, video the number. So that's about it. So why did I put numbers for my videos? So that the reference, it's easy to refer. That is why when people get in touch with me, they don't just say, Loy, where you spoke about a resume or where you spoke about UAE. Because UAE, I speak so many videos. So they don't even have to give a screenshot. They just give the number. Loy, in video 3423, you spoke about this thing. So it's very easy for me to search. So it becomes easy for reference and communication. So I hope this answers your question. Why did I put numbers for a video? Okay. Next one is, 1 minute. From PBC. Okay, his question is, I was always curious why Thailand and not Philippines. Considering that you were in Dubai, you would have had a lot of exposure to Filipinos, plus they speak English. So how come you chose Thailand over Philippines? To be honest, I did think about Philippines after I came here to Thailand. Because obviously they speak in English and all that, and I do know of many people who have been to Philippines and are very happy there. And the fact is, I have dated a lot of Filipinas. I've dated a lot of them, and you know, I like their culture, I like them. Although they are a little, very much that Indianish part is there where they gossip, but they are clannish. Just like the Thai or any other culture, they're also clannish. So now obviously the question, why did I choose Thailand and not Philippines? The answer is simple, because I visited Thailand. I didn't visit Philippines. My mother went to Philippines for hiring purpose. And she told me it's, you know, the crime rate is very high. By the way, the crime rate, poverty is very, very high. It's not that people have not succeeded. Many have succeeded, but it's a tough environment. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that there are no people in Philippines. Plenty are there. But in hindsight, when I look back, now when I compare, maybe I'm cherry picking or maybe I'm being biased, but I chose this place because it's quiet. Samui, it's quiet. There's no noise. There's no much people. It's nature. People, and see, when people don't know English, they mind their own business. Like I speak in English. There are only Thai versus non-Thai people here. The non-Thai is the expat community. They are not interested in what I do because I don't drink, I don't go to pubs, I'm not white, I don't have the Western culture in me. So they leave me alone. And then the Thai people, I'm not Thai also, so they don't know what I do. So nobody bothers me. So neither Thai people are bothering me, English people are not bothering me. So I get left alone. And yes, the standard of living is very cheap here, which I'm sure the Philippines is also, but I think it's cheaper here. I think 2 or 3 areas where Thailand is better than Philippines. One is the corruption, which corruption or rather security. I would say security is much more. There's more security here. In Philippines, there's a lot more drugs and poverty. Because of poverty, corruption is there, and it's more like not a very rich place. And you know, if you see, Philippines has so many islands, small islands, because of which the weather and volcanoes and floods and all that, which is not there in this island. And finally, it's like I think because I came here and I met Thai girl, and they're very much like the Indian culture, which is of humility and all. Filipinos are a bit more westernized and more modern, like they can sleep around and have fun. And Thai, now they have started having that, but majority of them are very traditional, like my wife, very traditionalistic and very simple. So overall, I would say, see, it all comes down to a personal preference. Why Thailand or why not Philippines? There are people who have been to Thailand, there are people who have been to Philippines. Either or, they choose whichever they want. But for me, I think I'm happy with Thailand. I don't know if my mind would change if I went down to Philippines, but one thing I can tell you for a fact, had I been in Philippines, had I had plenty of flings with plenty of girls, because to interact with girls is so damn easy there, man. So here, it's very hard to talk in Thai. So that's why I'm a better husband, I would say. Anyway, I hope this answers your question. Let me know what you think, and are you planning to move to Philippines? Okay, next one. JHC fan, he says, if Sheikh Fazza was your client and asked you for help on how to improve his leadership skills, what advice would you give him? First and foremost, Sheikh Fazza would never approach me, even if I was the last person on the planet. That's number one. Okay, let's be realistic here. The second thing is, had Sheikh Fazza come to me, I don't think I would want him as a client or give him advice. And I'll tell you why. The more powerful a person is, the more dangerous it gets. You have to be very, very careful. And with Arabs now, especially powerful ones, maybe they'll keep quiet and listen to you, but if they lose their cool. I've personally experienced friendship with quite a number of Arab guys, and that also some very powerful rich ones, some even related to the sheikhs. It's a very risky proposition. And with Sheikh Fazza, I have had people who have worked for Sheikh Fazza very closely, and they have told me about his mood swings and his erratic personality. It's a very risky proposition. Very, your head can roll off. You wouldn't want to this thing. But if you ask me, as if he was an individual, if he was a normal person, or I was equal to him, the advice that I would give him, leadership, is you need to do more. Do more, not social media, jumping from planes, sitting on top of Burj Khalifa or the Ferris wheel. These are all gimmicks. Writing poetry, reading poetry, being a pretty face. No. Do work like your father, Sheikh Mohammed. Do work. Be in the limelight for work. You know? Go like Sheikh Tamim, he took charge. Go represent UAE in foreign trips and be the face of Dubai, you know? Like make international deals. Why is your father only going? What's that thing? My camera just switched off. Frustrating. So like I said, in a nutshell, I obviously wouldn't advise, wouldn't take him as a client. As it is, he'll never come to me. On top of that, even if he did come to me, I wouldn't take him as a client because he's too powerful. And given his mood swings and his stuff that I know personally about him. But if he was my equal and I was his equal, I would tell him, be more out in the front. Show yourself as a leader. Get more experience doing that rather than doing exercise. Because your brand image, instead of showing that you're a pretty boy who's doing all these adventurous stuff of horse riding and climbing on top of towers and taking photographs, and do work. You know, you're a leader. So that's what I would advise. Anyway, you let me know your thoughts and tell me what do you think. In fact, I can't blame him. I think his father is too much of a control freak, I feel. Anyway.